Let's talk about design trends and why some of them actually can stand the test of time. I know the word trend can make a lot of us hesitate, especially if you're remodeling a home you plan to live in for the next 10 or 20 years. You don't want to spend all of this time, money, energy, just everything that goes into remodeling a home and then not to love it 5 years later. But here's the thing, timeless design isn't about avoiding trends, it's about how you use them and staying grounded in what you love. I really am a huge believer in just going with your gut. What speaks to you? What you would consider your style, even if it doesn't have a label. Figure out just what speaks to you. If you have the benefit of hiring a designer, they can help work that out. But I mean, Pinterest is all our best friend, right? Like, look through pictures, just pull the pictures that speak to you the most. Don't overwhelm yourself with too many options. But the next thing I do, this is like sidetrack, but really good information, is when you find a picture of a room that you love, let's just use the kitchen for example, what about it in that picture is what you actually love? Pick apart the details, and maybe it's just the feeling that it gives. It's airy, it's open, it's bright. Maybe it's not necessarily like the light fixture or the hardware. Make note of all that stuff. That is really useful information as you move forward. But okay, going back to my main point about design trends and what's trendy and what to use for trends, what not to use for trends. I think there are definitely trendy things that you're gonna know the era of it. It may come back, usually it comes back in a different form when it does come back. Are some that are just super distinctive. And then there are others, they can be trendy in the moment, but they're also timeless at the same time. So there's something that never looks bad, never looks out of place, never is like, oh, this home is stuck in the 80s. A good design, timeless design, you really shouldn't be able to tell exactly when it was made. Although I will say, like, if you can find a historic home that is preserved, that's a blessing to be able to say, like, look at this 1900s craftsmanship. But like when we're replicating in new, modern times, older designs, you shouldn't really be able to tell. You'll know that it's newer, it looks fresh, it hasn't, been worn down. Pieces and elements of timeless design will live on forever. Now let's get into what makes it timeless and why not trendy. Part one of this to me is really to have something have longevity and feel fresh and timeless for a really long time is using natural materials. Anytime that we get into like new man-made types of materials, you're gonna automatically kind of get stuck in an era. So I think of things like Formica countertops or glass block, things like that. A glass block is actually coming back in style right now. But even still, the way that it's coming back, well, I think it could be very cool. I would consider that trendy. I would say you're going to know either this is glass block from the 90s or this is glass block with a new modern take on it. It's not gonna feel timeless. It's always gonna feel trendy. And there are some times in design where that's the point. That's what they wanna do. They wanna have something bold that stands out, that has a very clear, distinct story that it's telling. But when we want timeless design, we want materials that are natural, that age gracefully, even if they're put in a new, fresh, modern way, that over time they will just continue to get better. So solid woods, I have 3 different types of wood in my house. I have oak, I have pine, and I have knotty alder. I love that modern rustic feel. So for me, layering a lot of different woods and wood tones, I mean, you can even see right here. I'm filming from my not even super clean mudroom today because my whole house is a mess. I'm helping design for a wedding, which is really exciting. But yeah, my house is a mess, so I'm in a really awkward spot. But the cool thing is you can see my mudroom cabinets, my kitchen cabinets, my wood floors, my wood beams. This is oak, alder, and then you can't see where I have pine, but I do have pine in my house too. It can be done right to bring in all those different woods, and it will be timeless. Like, I really believe that while I have this modern rustic style, which some may consider trendy, a lot of the things that I've used, because I've used natural materials, I have soapstone counters, I have the oak cabinets, I have slate floors, I have a lot of natural materials. Even my kitchen countertops are granite. I do have quartz which is a man-made material. Upstairs in the bathrooms up there, just in one bathroom actually. But the rest of the materials I brought in are all natural materials. Even the backsplash in my kitchen is a handmade brick that's hand glazed. And so those are the things that I know that even if we sell our house 10 years from now, because modern rustic was a thing 10 years ago, if we're looking forward 10 years, because of the natural materials, because of how well they're gonna age, because of just the luxuriousness that you get from a natural material versus a man-made material, that is what will make it timeless. So the second thing I want to touch on is just to help you kind of think through, like, how do you spot the fleeting trend versus the foundational ones? And I think one of the best ways to do that is to think through, is this a fleeting trend that will require a complete change down the road because it's such statement in the space? Or is it something that is foundational and will be easy to shift over time if I want to just tweak and adjust to update? Just to give an example, super bold geometric tile. If you have a mid-century modern home, it's a great place to use it. You want to honor the feel of your home. But if you love mid-century but your home is more craftsman, and then you go to sell your house and you realize you have this super bold tile that's very mid-century, but it doesn't really flow with the style of your home, that's where you might find something that was trendy and I guess loud, not be foundational. Would be something where, oh my goodness, in 5 to 10 years I'm gonna have to rip out all of this tile. Again, going back to natural materials, natural textures. So the more foundational things are easier to just shift over time. So like switching out hardware, changing paint colors, those kinds of things are really easy to have be trendier if you want a trendy feel to a space, but that won't be tied down forever. Also makes it easier just to adjust to the feeling of the space. When you change out lighting and hardware and paint, it can really totally transform your space. Having your foundational pieces like your flooring and your cabinetry be those timeless natural materials, and then working around that is a great way to think through, am I gonna love this in 10 years? Am I gonna be able to sell my house with this material? All of those questions that come up as we're making those big decisions on expensive items, especially like tile and flooring and cabinetry. Kind of going along with this, I also just wanted to touch on why there's some trends that are actually timeless. So thinking right now of like tongue and groove, or like who I think it was Joanna Gaines that brought back the slat walls, all of the shiplap. And so there was a moment, I would say even shiplap was like 5 years ago now, but when Fixer Upper was really big and there was shiplap going in a lot of her homes, and then everyone was seeing it on HGTV and then everybody wanted it. But the cool thing about shiplap is shiplap has been around for years and years and years, and that's part of why Joanna Gaines loved it, was because she would tear back the drywall that was put on these homes in modern times and see the shiplap that the home was originally built with back in the early 1900s, late 1800s. So there are some elements that will be trendy right now, but are also timeless because they were original to the home back in the 1900s, or something that was used, a material that was used frequently in the 1900s. And like the cool thing about like the older design is they didn't have such thing as drywall. So that's kind of where I talk about like these man-made materials. Another thing that's really coming back is plaster walls, plaster look. Those are timeless things. Those are things that have been used for centuries and centuries, and they're, I think, more of a craft, and those feel timeless just because of for how many years that they've been used. Even things like checkerboard or like really cool artisan lighting, those are things that might be trendy in the moment, but they're also gonna be timeless. So I want to kind of go back to just staying with things that you really love. So I know this is hard because this whole video is on like how to stay timeless and not get caught up in trendy, but also it's okay if it is trendy and you love it. I'm a huge proponent of expressing who you are through your home. You are going to live so much life in this space, and just be true to who you are. If you love that bold geometric tile that I was talking about, ultimately, I don't think that you should not use it because you're afraid of not being able to sell your house. Like me personally, especially if you don't like have a plan to sell your house in the next 3 to 5 years, what's gonna be in style 5 years from now, nobody's gonna know. Like like, who knows what will be trendy in 5 years? Why not love your space that you're spending money on, that you're going to be doing your life in? As long as you have good craftsmanship, you're hiring the right people to do the work is getting done well. Hire a designer if you need to. I really truly believe that you will be so much happier just living in a space that feels like you, that represents who you are and your family and your lifestyle, than if you hold back on the design because you just feel like, oh my goodness, I really love this, but it's just so trendy right now and I don't know if I'm gonna love it 5 to 10 years. Another thing that you can do if you're not ready for the renovation right now, but you're thinking about renovating in the future, look back through the things that you've loved for a really long time. So they could still be trendy, something that's been trendy for like the last, I don't know, 2 to 5 years that you still love 5 years later. Use those elements. Likely, if you still love them after 5 years, they're not really trendy. They probably are some sort of timeless element that might be kind of like back in style, but the good thing is it will come back in style again probably because it was good. The last thing I want to touch on is getting design fatigue and having so many inputs and feeling overwhelmed by it, and it's super easy. Like I said earlier, we love Pinterest, but there's so much information on Pinterest, and what do you do with it all? Here's 3 questions that I think are really good to look at as you're looking through your Pinterest board, your Pinterest pages, all the things that you saved and the things that you feel like you love. The first one is, does this support my family's rhythm? So if it's a design choice that is like a structural wall, like do I do open concept versus a closed-in kitchen? Ask yourself, how does my family operate? How do I host? Some people really truly love being able to just hide the mess in their kitchen and come out and feel free with their guests. Other people want to cook while the people are coming in. They want to be able to serve right then and there, hot and fresh, and so they feel like if they're closed off in a kitchen, they won't get to be a part of the fun. And so those are the questions that you ask yourself as you're thinking through the design and what do you want? Does it support my family's rhythm? The second question is, do I feel more at ease when I see this? Your home is your sanctuary. It is where you go to refresh yourself, to center yourself. If you have like faith practices, you know I'm a Christian if you've been on this page for any length of time, and so having areas in your home that support your prayer needs, your ability to usher in the presence of the Lord, or whatever it is for you, creating that environment that allows you to breathe, to calm your nervous system. We live in a very fast-paced modern world, and it is a battle for our bodies, because my personal belief is we were not built to keep up with the Joneses. We were not built to be the top career woman and the best mom ever and the best wife ever and the best homemaker ever and the best friend ever and the best daughter ever. And there's so many hats that we have to wear. While all those things are beautiful and I'm doing all of those things, we have to have that time where we can just breathe. And if your home isn't a place where you can come and just breathe, if the Pinterest picture that you were looking at is exciting and fun, but it doesn't make you feel relaxed, maybe it's for a bonus room, maybe it's for the half bathroom, but it should not be for your main living area. It should not be for your bedroom, unless that fun atmosphere is what makes you feel at ease. Third thing, last thing that I will leave you with here is, will this age with beauty and grace in my home? And so coming back around to the natural materials that I talked about in the beginning, things that age over time, unlacquered brass, where it patinas and you can tell that it's been used, but it's so beautiful. Like, I don't know if you've ever had the wonderful ability to go to Europe or even on the East Coast where they used to build a lot with marble, and you can see the stains and you can see the age, but it doesn't make it any less beautiful. In fact, I would argue that it makes it more beautiful. Those are the kinds of materials that you will not regret. I always say, I'm doing another side note here. I'm kind of going crazy today. Another thing that I get a lot of pushback when I ask if someone would be willing to put marble in their home. They're so afraid of those first stains. I suggest that you just get the first stain over with. Don't freak out about keeping it perfect forever. Like, get it in there and then get the stain on there. If that's gonna help you just move past it, I know that sounds crazy, but most likely it's not even gonna stain as bad as you think it will anyways. Honestly, there's so many different ways that you can buff all that stuff out now that if you really, really are particular and you still want the natural material, most of the time there's ways to make it look fresh and new again. But I hope this was so helpful for you. I hope that you feel empowered to choose design choices for your home or whatever space that your project is for with a lot of just integrity for who you are and what you want out of the space, and that you're not afraid to allow it to speak to you and just make choices that can be trendy but also timeless at the same time. See you on the next one.